please welcome your moderator for JoyConf 25, Maxi Sarwas.
Good morning, Amsterdam. So how are you feeling? Coffee kicking in? Okay, perfect. We need that energy. Welcome to the very first JoyConf. We are so happy to have you here. And, well, it's even more crowded than we expected. It's amazing. So this is the place for marketers, for creators, for developers to turn content into connection. And yes, we are hopefully having lots of fun while we're doing so. My name is Maxi Sarwas. I'm a journalist and an event host. I'm living more or less on stages for more than 10 years. And, well, yes, I've seen lots of conferences. I'm helping brands, high-level brands, and innovators to share their stories. But, well, the vibe that I feel here is definitely special. So what can you expect? Fresh ideas, hands-on sessions, and real use cases. And of course, a community that loves building things that actually ship. So ladies and gentlemen, if that sounds great for you, let's make our deep dive, because we are setting off a firework of fascinating speakers. You can expect during the next 2 days more than 35 incredible keynotes and breakout sessions. So all of this wouldn't be possible without our sponsors and partners. So let's say a quick thank you to all of them. First of all, thank you so much to our Platinum partners, also to our Gold partners, and last but not least also to our Silver partners. You find all of them right here at the venue. Stop by, say hi, and of course, if you want to discover perhaps your next collaboration. Housekeeping is simple. Okay, you'll find everything you need, the rooms, the speakers, the timings, in the event app. And of course on the signages across all floors. And if anything is unclear, then feel always free to ask the JoyConf crew. They will be happy to assist you. All right, so let's open the JoyConf conference properly. The world of digital experiences is changing fast, right? You know that better than me. From AI to composable architectures, it's an exciting moment to rethink how content gets created, governed, and of course delivered. So to kick us off, let's welcome here on stage a person who set this vision in motion. Let's welcome the CEO and co-founder of Storyblok, Dominik Angerer.
Hello and welcome, everybody. I'm immensely grateful for all of you turning up. I know it's not that great of a weather, and I believe many of you are still in your head at work. Maybe not. Maybe some of you have some distractions on the personal side, but I hope the next 2 days are going to be amazing for all of you. And I'm really, really happy to have you here. So thank you so much. I'm close to being speechless, to be honest. But I was told I need to start slow to make the final really, really exciting. So watch out. So today is all about turning content into great connections. And just looking in all of your faces, I can guarantee you will have amazing conversations. All of you are going to be having an amazing happening in the next 2 days. And I believe you will have to be ready for what's next. And we got amazing sessions for you that we brought together by humans, not just AI, but actually humans that will help you, guide you through the next couple of days. So I'm really, really excited, and thank you again for being here. And the place we are, it's kind of special to me, and not just because we chose JoyConf as a name and that we have about 420 people actually in the venue right now, but we're in Amsterdam. And I'm really, really happy that all of you made it. I know there are silent killers out there, so watch out for bikes if you leave the venue. We need you tomorrow as well. But reality is, it's one of the most creative and friendly city that I've ever met. And to be honest, I really enjoy being here just because the vibe and the people that I met here, including some of the investments we did together, some of the amazing people and agencies we work together, all of it started to be amazing right here. So thank you so much for joining and welcome to JoyConf 2025. We couldn't have done this. Thank you. So Maxi already said a big thank you to all of our sponsors, but I really want to highlight how amazing it is to have all of those sponsors with us. They do have booths, so if they're not on stage, make sure to go over there, talk to them, because they're already part of our own success story. And I can guarantee you they're going to make your success story shine really, really big. So if you have not any partner yet, make sure to get out there and talk to them. And if you don't talk to our partners, there are also MVPs. There are also amazing large brands and even mid-sized companies that are doing crazy things incredibly fast. Plus analysts and journalists, thank you so much for allowing us to tell this story in a bigger forum. And I'm really, really glad you're all here. So thank you so much to all of our sponsors. We could not have done this without them. So if you see them around, give them a big, big applause. Maybe not outside, but in here later. But thank you again. And we're building something together. And to give you an idea on why it took us so long to build a conference of Storyblok itself, I have to tell you that actually I was really afraid of doing this. Not because I'm afraid of being on stages. I mean, you've seen me on multiple different stages before. But we're doing a conference in 2016, 17, 18, and also in 2019 called JoyConf. Not related to Storyblok, but something that we organized just as 3 people. It was Stefan, Sebastian, and myself. And throughout those years, we realized this community that we had in that technology space where we did web development, it meant a lot to us. And the vibe that we created at that conference was really, really amazing, where people came together to lift each other up, to really make it special, to have conversations that were meaningful. And to be honest, I was afraid that we would not be able to do that in a corporate setting, because now all of this is somewhat Storyblok branded, if you have seen it. And the reality is, I hope, and at least right now when I listen to some of the conversations out there, it feels like we were able to build a community from marketers, developers, tech enthusiasts, IT professionals, but also just people that are related to content in some way that really want to make it work together and lift each other up. So I'm really glad for having all of you here. Thank you so much. And just so you know, if you behave well, we might do another one next year. So before I jump any deeper, I want to really set the scene for all of us, because we're coming here today on a serious topic. It's not just product innovation, but actually a serious topic. We're talking about 15%. 15% of search traffic already declined just in the first 6 months of this year. I mean, when you look at Wikipedia, they already lost 26% of their organic traffic. If you look into large publishers like Forbes, CNN, or Daily Mail, they actually lost between 28 to 40% of their already existing search traffic. And you can see this picture jumping up and up and up every day even more. So something has changed, and not many people understand yet why that is the case. But I can tell you, it's actually quite simple. What we realized is that a couple of years ago, you basically only had one place if you want to find an answer, or at least ask a question. And that place was Google. Maybe Bing, definitely not Yahoo, but many of you might have used it at one point. And what you got is a search result list of at least 10 results, and you scroll through, you maybe clicked on one of the links, you looked at something, maybe tried to read the headlines, you didn't find what you wanted, you jumped back out, scrolled further down the list, tried to find something else, clicked another link, and so on and so on. So it was a repetitive task of you searching for results instead of getting an answer. But this has changed now. There are new players on the block. So you will already have, many of you, either apps installed or websites already running called OpenAI, Claude, Perplexity, Gemini, or any other AI tool where you can just drop in any question and you get a really confident answer. Or even multiple answers, maybe even wrong answers. And it's really important for all of us to understand how we can actually place your brand at the forefront of how those AI tools are going to mention you, going to work with you. Yeah, and finally, displaying even your content, if it's right or not. So it's really important for you to understand there's a big shift in the buyer's journey, and it's already happening right now. So things changed, and I hope we as an industry can also change a little bit. Main reason why I really want us to change is that in the past, what happened is that most of those tools that we see out there were focusing solely on trying to push you somewhere on the bottom or on the top of the number one spot of Google or any of those search engines. And reality is that's something that is going to die over time because we're getting better at actually sending answers to our customers rather than just results. And I mentioned it again, or I will mention it again. Those new players, they're here to stay because that's where the buyers are already moving right now. Many companies out there, and you have seen many of them already having a big problem when it comes to their own traffic, where we see that 59%, which I believe is actually the scarier number, 59% of all of the searches that happen out there right now on Google and similar tools, they result in 0 clicks. So if you have really tried to work your way up that list, to stay relevant, to be seen, to be at the forefront of attention, it actually is resulting in less clicks and therefore even less revenue. So make no mistake, this is something we need to be really, really, really watching within our space. Because for years, marketers and including some developers, we tried to really hit that number one spot through technical means or through optimization of content. And to be honest, sadly, many of the CMS spaces, they wanted to create content in a mass production way. And you could see that the moment OpenAI launched their API, what happened is that many content management systems implement the generative content, so allowing you to create more spam or AI slop, as many tell it. And the reality is, we didn't want to do that. So you didn't see like the first integration in the first week, even though we had it ready internally. But we decided that this is not the way we believe the industry should work. And we don't believe that creating more and more and more and more and shouting louder is actually what you want to do as well, because that is certainly not your brand. Your brand should be about quality of content. And we wanted to make sure that the foundation that we equip you with is there for you. So what we really believe and what we saw now as well is that quality will always outpace quantity. It might not be as loud, but over the long term, staying on tone, staying on brand, having your own content with the highest quality out there allows you to be ranking better at one point, not just in Google, but also in those AI search engines. And the best part, if your content is highest quality, stays on brand, is still relevant, is not duplicated, and is literally not outdated as the articles I wrote in 2018, then you made it. Then you are consistent across all your content. And we want to really make sure that you are on brand to get this done. The future of how we see content is changing. And I want to make that one thing clear. We are changing as well. We are changing the way content management systems are going to be built and how you interact with your content. But I will get to that in a bit, so you need to watch out a little bit longer and hold out with me a little bit longer. Before we go into how you and your team can lift content to the same importance as data within your company, we have built amazing foundations, and I want to run you by that real quick. First of all, really summarization for you, we are ready. So whatever is out there, not just today with the AI engines coming in, but even for tomorrow, we will be ready for you to build on top of Storyblok. So any piece of content that you will ever create within Storyblok is going to be available to you on any platform that is going to come, no matter what it will be, no matter if it's going to be a website or anything else, we will be ready to support you in the best way possible. And if that means there's a complete new technology that we need to provide to you, we'll be the first one to do that if it actually makes sense and does not dilute your story, if it doesn't dilute your own qualitative content. We made it really clear that we wanted to fully automate the boring stuff. So one of the things we wanted to do is we wanted to make sure that no matter what we do, the content that you as marketers create doesn't have to be boring. And we don't want you to do chores. I mean, I myself hate doing chores, not just in the household, but when I'm talking about content operation itself. Reality is, many of you need to go back into your system trying to find those images where alternative texts are not set, to make sure accessibility is hit. You need to make sure that the content that you just created is translated in many different languages. And you need to make sure that the content is not just ready, but also the metadata and meta information for SEO and GEO is updated. So what we launched for you was AI text generation, alt text generation for all images. Literally press a button, we analyze the image for you, and then you can verify it. You should not do that in a bulk operation, because otherwise you're just generating spam. I'm highly recommending you reading through every alternative text, because there are people that depend on it. So make sure to not just hit the button and just save it and publish it. Make sure to read through it at least once, or at least promise that to me, please. Then on the second part about meta text generation, this was really important because schema.org and many other meta information that we provide need to be always on point with the actual content you present on the site itself. And it can be a big chore updating that all over again. And one thing that an AI is actually really good at is at summarizing things. So with Storyblok, you can literally hit a button, get your own metadata set in a couple of seconds. Talking about translation before, it's really important if you create new content, you want to display it to more people, AI translation is already right now in there for you. So you literally press a button, it's completely translated for you. And last but not least, we were also able to get another thing solved for you, which I believe is actually really nice, which basically means you don't need to do that all over again every time, which is proofreading about your own branding. Many of the content creators, including myself, when I write an article, I'm writing it in my own style. It might be slightly different to the tone, the voice, and the branding of your company. And that's why we launched AI branding as well, allowing you to really nail it every time. And if you have struggles with formulating a text, just ask our internal AI branding AI to literally press a button and give you another version with the same meaning, the same intent, but on the tone of the company you define. If you have not seen it yet, go in your space settings and activate it. You're going to love it. I can promise you that. For developers, we wanted to do something similar. So for the developers that we did, we wanted to make sure that they are able to ship faster and they are able to have actual freedom when they ship something. So what we realized is that in the beginning of this year, we wanted to ship a little bit more than just the usual developer setups and the developer projects or just some plugins. We wanted to make sure that every developer that comes to Storyblok gets started as quickly as possible. And I hated myself having to type in an email, create an account, add a password, then find the confirmation email in my spam folder, hit the press, and hopefully activate my account. So for every developer out there that is just getting started, or maybe even in this room right now, you can literally just click a GitHub sign up button. It's a small change, but it actually means a lot because you are set up in seconds. And the best thing, right after that, you have access to our blueprints. And blueprints are something that we launched just in September, which for me, it was actually really, really nice and a game changer because in seconds, you can literally launch a full-blown use case. And we are going to build more and more use cases over time. So you can literally press a button and have a fully functional Storyblok instance ready for you to use, to deploy it on Netlify and have it basically shown to the world. And the best thing, we ship it with the whole source code. So you understand how we would create components and content types ourselves to really follow best practices. And there's coming even more to that in a bit, which I believe is really, really powerful. So make sure to use blueprints and test them out. And if you have some cool use case ideas, throw them at us. We're happy to have a full list of them backlog to really create them. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. So before going any deeper and before telling you a little bit more about the crazy things we have prepared at the end, you might be wondering, okay, Dom, this is really cool. This is already out there, so why are you telling us that? Well, I cannot just jump into the nice new things, right? It's a little bit like Christmas. So let me build up the pace a little bit. I'm going to go into product launches that are coming to you in the next couple of months or weeks. So let's jump into that. First off, we wanted to make sure you understand why we are launching something and why we are not launching something. So for that, we prepared 3 pillars. So bear with me before I show you the product innovations. Those 3 pillars are really important for me and also for you because that defines what we are going to deliver in the next couple of months and weeks to come. First off, we're talking about content operations. And content operations is really all about how your content is created. It's all about the clarity on who owns what, the clarity on really understanding on who moves something from one folder to another, but also who created content in the long run. Content operations is the foundation of all of you creating high-quality content and not just spam. So when we talk about content operations, we really mean the day-to-day that you work in your content management system. And we want to make sure that everybody of you is equipped with the best tools out there. And for us, that might sound boring. And for all of you, you might be like, okay, Dom, it's another save button and publish button. But the reality is, if you do it properly, if you do content operations properly, everything that is going to go afterwards, be it content observability, personalization, or anything else, those things are getting easier if you do the foundations right. And we will hear it in some other sessions as well, where 80% of your time you need to build into foundations to enable you to do the rest, the 20%. So content operations is our first pillar that we talk about. The second one, I mentioned it already, is content observability. Content observability is all about understanding your content and seeing the things you don't see. This is something where we really want to make sure that whenever there's something out there that might hurt your brand or that you're going off your brand, we want to be able to flag it for you. You need to understand what you do, why you do it, and how you influence it. And we see it in 2 different ways. There's the insider view. This is what we provide as Storyblok, where we jump really into the system, trying to understand your content. Is it structurally correct? Is it created in a high-quality modus? Is it created with the right tone, right voice? And is it even content you want to publish? Or is it unnecessary because you already created an article that sounds basically the same and just needs rewording? So we want to make sure that you're not doing unnecessary work, and also understand your content better. That's our second pillar, content observability. And once you nail content operations and content observability, and we'll give you the tools to do that, then you're going into the next phase. But I mentioned there are 2 sides of content observability. I was just talking about the insider view, the one that we are providing to you. And we will partner with somebody that is actually allowing us to get the outside-in view as well. Because it's now really, really important for you to understand how AI is actually understanding your content. Because it's not just your content that is out there. They're consuming the content directly live, not just the trained data. So when I'm talking about outside-in, I'm really talking about scrolling and analyzing the data and prompts that customers might send to an AI, so we can monitor and see how you actually work with that. And that's the outside-in view. So observability really gets from the inside and the outside in. Really important. Next up, personalization at scale. So, private story, please don't leave, but I literally just bought a fridge. And I've never imagined I would say that on stage, but I have to say that. Sorry, Mark. But the reality is, I literally just bought a fridge a couple of weeks ago. And what happened right after that was that I received so many ads about fridges. And I can guarantee you, I only buy one fridge. I don't need an armada of fridges. And it really annoys me that the state of content experiences and retargeting right now is still the same like it was 20 years ago. It's still trying to be personal, but all it does, it replaces your email address and your name with who you are, and then it hopefully does some retargeting. And that's not personalization at scale. That's literally just using one parameter to define that I am interested in fridges. And I guarantee you, I'm done. I don't need another fridge for the next 4 years, at least. So if you ever had the same issue, or if you're thinking about how you can solve that for real, we'll have some answers for you later. But personalization at scale is really more than just creating content at scale. It's creating hyper-contextualized, actual meaningful content for your audiences that speak to them in a relevant way, so that you don't sell fridges, but actual experiences. So let's dive into content operations again, doing the full loop to really get you going on the product innovations that we did. And I'm really, really excited to share some of those, and actually all of those, because many of those are solving things that I was really annoyed with within Storyblok as well. And those things are the things that we really believe will accelerate you in your day-to-day work. And first off, our team has done an amazing job doing that. So I want to do a big thank you to all of our developers and product team, design team, everybody at Storyblok that really made those product innovations happening in the next couple of months for you, and will make them happening for you. We'll make sure we pack it in a really nice Christmas gift so you can actually use it this year. So first off, something that bugged me a lot, which was about content planning. Because whenever I ask our team, okay, what's going to go live next week and what's going to happen in a month, it was really hard for me to understand, because most of the time we do have a marketing team working on the current campaign and another campaign at the same time. We have a content team that is trying to publish a bunch of different articles, and even our partner team trying to create content for all of our partners. And reality is, at one point, I tried to access the complete plan and understanding, okay, when is the release plan happening? So I clicked on it, and all I received was an access denied. And all of us know that sometimes there are projects and there are things in your Google Drive or in your SharePoint or whatever system you're using where you don't have access to, even though you should. And it's really important for you to understand when content is published, because then you create your own things in a really structured way. So right now in Storyblok, you will be able to actually access a complete calendar view. And if you're already using releases or scheduling content right now, you don't need to do anything special to set it up. Literally, the features you're using already today will power this for you. So the moment you're right now in Storyblok, you can access our calendar view, including all the content planning behind it. It's a really nice overview for you to really get going and finally understanding what is going live, when, by whom. And if you're interested in something, you can literally reach out to those people the moment you see it pop up. So I hope you get as excited as I am, because finally I can see what's going to go live in a really meaningful, quick way. Trying to solve not just content planning, but also how you work with assets has been a struggle for years in the content management space. And luckily, we have amazing partners on the DAM side, being Binder, Cloudinary, or similar. But one thing that all of our customers always came to us was all about global asset library. This is something our enterprise customers ask many times. It's about how can we get that level of frustration of uploading assets in one space, making it perfect, and seeing like a colleague of yours doing the same thing in a different space again and again and again. And we don't want you to do that. So what is going to happen early next year, we are going to launch Global Asset Manager or Global Asset Library directly on the enterprise Oracle level in Storyblok. So you have one place where you can store all your assets and then move it into the spaces where you need it, so they can actually pull it once, and you don't have to upload and resize it and generate them every time. The cool thing is, it will also, of course, support meta information and alternative text. So the moment you put it directly into your global asset library, all your spaces will have access to those assets if you want them to. And this really excites me, because so many of you literally called me and asked, Dom, when is this coming? When is this coming? So early 2026, we'll have this ready, basically as a New Year's gift. So we didn't stop there. Our team was baking up even more. One of the things that I'm actually really, really excited, because you might not notice it now, but I'm actually a software engineer. Yes, I can speak well for a software engineer. I know those jokes, I've heard them many times. But the reality is that all what I'm saying is that it's really a pain to build something on a development or test environment, because it's always out of sync, it's always broken, there's never the latest campaign online. And the reality is, software engineers and QA need a place, a really safe place to test things. Because if I create an AI agent, I don't want to run it on production just to make sure nothing breaks. I want to be easily able to just hit a button, have my development environment, and build something on that. And that's what's coming to you next year. Early next year, we're going to announce and actually build out fully functional environment spaces. That means on whatever space you're in, you hit a button, and automatically you have a full instance of that space ready for you to use on development or staging environments. Not just like forever, you just basically use it, but you can do it in a temporary way as well. So if you want to test something just for the next 2 days because you have an internal hackathon going on, press a button, have your environment space even per developer, and you're ready to go. You can't just use it. You get new API keys, swap them out in your project, and you can build something. All assets, all your content, all the components, everything is in sync. And you don't have to do messy database migration or anything like that ever again. It's literally a game changer. And it makes my life so much easier, because it allows you to build so many cool things that I can then be able to present as amazing projects that our customers have done. And the best thing, all that without breaking production ever again. And that's really, really important, because one thing I can tell you is happening right now. All your software engineers want to play around, especially in a time like this where AI is taking over not just search, but also the coding space. They need to have a safe space, and environment spaces is giving that to all your developers. And I'm really, really excited about that one. So, I told you about how excited I am about people that are doing amazing things. And innovation does not just happen within Storyblok itself, but it actually also happens outside our walls. And I really, really couldn't be more happy to introduce somebody to you on stage in a short while, which I got to know in the last 2 years. And I have to say, when Jim and I met for the first time, I was thinking, okay, how crazy are those guys over at Virgin Media O2? I thought they were a corporate. And don't get me wrong, they still have the money of a corporate, but they actually have innovation in the blood. So every time I talk to them, they had something cool to share, something nice to build, some random buttons that nobody should press ever. You know what I'm talking about. But it's just amazing what they were able to build in a meaningful way. And today, they built something that we did not build in the past 8 years. We didn't build it because we figured, okay, at the current pace and the people that came to us, they never requested it. So we might spend our time more on what customers ask us to do. But the nice thing about Storyblok, with all of our APIs, with our iframe setup, all the extensions you can build within Storyblok, it's super easy for you to extend it and build your own structure however you like. So what the team over at Virgin Media O2 has built is a complete React Native visual editor. So you can scan a QR code and literally start with complete visual editing in your app, a native React Native app on your smartphone. And I really want to welcome Jim Drury now on stage to answer 1 or 2 questions about how they did it and why they're open sourcing that to all of you, because that's what's going to happen. So if you have an app, they are going to open source it. So Jim, tell us more about what crazy things Virgin Media actually built over the past couple of years, and why would you open source it?
So we've built all sorts of crazy things, whether we've got deep integrations into our PIMs, websites left, right, and center. We've built the ability to scale websites and from scratch in 24 hours. But why have we decided to open source this? Because most of the work we do as an engineering company is all tied down to things that we can't really share publicly, and we can't really talk about the amazing innovations publicly with the world. But this is special. This is based on Storyblok. Your APIs are already public. All this information is public. So we've done this amazing innovation, and we want to bring this to the world, and we're going to be talking about that later upstairs, and I invite everyone to come and join.
Thank you so much, Jim. I mean, maybe some other words about, like, most likely you're hiring, and most likely you're looking for really amazing software engineers as well. So maybe tell us a little bit more about Virgin Media itself, and why and how are you leading your teams?
So Virgin Media O2, we're an incredible company. We are a broadband company and a mobile phone company that came together to create this even bigger telco company. And what we've got is the corporate structure that comes with O2. It's very serious, we're a very good, strong company. But then we've also got that Virgin Media DNA, that hint of Richard Branson, which still exists, which means you've got the big business and you've got the innovation. And that's what I love about Virgin Media O2. We're free to create beautiful things, try them out at a scale that no one else would let you do, whether it's AIs in places you wouldn't expect. And there's a few things I'll tell you later about where we've put AI into Storyblok.
Oh.
Yeah, I've been saving a few.
So if you want to hear more about Jim and the story about Virgin Media O2, he will be around, and he loves to talk about it. I can guarantee you that. But give up a big round of applause for Jim of open sourcing everything. Thank you so much, Jim. I'm so excited. I mean, literally one of our, at least really close customers to me, they launched a React Native integration for all of you. So you literally are able to visually see that, and you can experience it yourself with your own project. And it's going to be available on GitHub. And thank you so much again. If you have anything else to share, anything cool to share, please come to me as well if you want to be on stage at one point. So up next is something that got me really excited, because we built it because many of you asked us to build it. We built our first version of a Figma plugin a couple of months ago. And many of you really liked it. I mean, we received so many requests for changes and updates and basically things that you have on a wish list. And to be honest, we listened. In the last couple of months, what we did is we are completely revamping and have already revamped the complete Figma plugin that we created. So when you're now creating designs directly in Figma, it feels like it's in Storyblok. You literally clicked your different layers, you define the names that you have for the fields that you have within Figma, and with just a press of a button, it's completely synced into Storyblok. And we didn't just stop on the top layer by now, it now can also do nested components. So you can build out your whole design directly within Figma, and with just a press of a button, all your components and content types will be generated directly in Storyblok. So literally bridging the gap between designers and developers with the press of a button. And I couldn't be more excited about that, because this is just mind-blowing. When we started Storyblok, we were always talking about how the different components that we have is literally the language that marketers and designers were using. And now we are partnering basically with one of the best tools out there when it comes to design, and just make it happen. One press of a button and your design is becoming a Storyblok component library. And I'm so thrilled to announce that this is available for you today. It's called Figma Connect, and you should definitely try it out. If you have more feedback, send it to us. We will be really ready to build it out even further for you. I'm really excited about that, and I hope you are too. And I see so many phones going up to take pictures. You can actually try this today if you want to. But please make sure that you visit West Sessions as well. They're going to be amazing. Next up, I'm really excited about this one, because over the last couple of years, there have been many companies in the industries that we worked with, and many of you are actually already using Netlify by yourself as a hosting provider right now. And it always worked really well when we had Storyblok and Netlify together. And in the last couple of years, what happened is not just that the two companies were coming closer together, but also I found an amazing friend in the founder of Netlify called Matt. And Matt is here with us today, and I will have him on stage in a few seconds. But I really want to tell you why this partnership is something that we want to announce, because what we have seen is that many of our competitors starting to offering their own hosting and diluting the idea of headless content management systems even further. And I can guarantee you that's not the way you should build it. You should build a CMS and be laser focused on solving your actual content pains. So what we decided on really understanding how our customers are operating and how that matches with the vision of the companies out there. And right now, one of the companies that I'm really, really excited about is Netlify, because they are thinking the exact same way that they are reflected in the questions we received when it comes to hosting and even AI agents and how to host them and functions and how to host them. So I'm really, really happy to have now with me on stage Matt Billman, CEO of Netlify. Give it up for Matt. So Matt, you will be on stage a little bit later as well to give even deeper insights into Netlify. But I really wanted to emphasize how amazing the collaboration between our teams have been in the last couple of years. And now we bundle it together so you can actually purchase Netlify directly from Storyblok to make it easier for every procurement team and every security team out there. And I believe it would be really nice for everybody to understand, like, how do you see this vision of like Netlify and Storyblok combined?
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the things we're both really excited about is this alignment of vision, right? Like, you've really focused on like this idea of like being the best headless CMS and doing an amazing job in an age of AI. And we're really focusing on like pushing those ideas to production and giving you like these instant environments to play around with, to build with. Because like we sit right in the center of this world where we see developers starting to use AI to write code on top of content, on top of data and everything. And it increases the velocity you can iterate with. It also increases the amount of stuff people are building. And it changes what they're building, from just websites to agents and apps. And what we've learned is that if you massively increase throughput and amount of stuff you're building, you got to run that in a place that takes away all of the operations. Just like Storyblok takes away the content operations, we take away sort of all the front-end operations from managing that infrastructure, deployment, throughput, and making sure that what you ship is safe and ready for production. Yeah.
And this makes me really excited, because finally you can purchase everything from one hand and get your project out faster than ever before. And talking about faster, I heard some rumors yesterday. I'm not allowed to share them yet, but I can guarantee you, if you're building on top of Netlify and Storyblok, you will have one of the fastest experience you will ever imagine. So, Matt, what should they be excited about your session later on?
Yeah, so I'm going to be talking about AX, or agent experience, and how we have really changed at Netlify, how we are not only building today for people and for users, but also for the agents that those people are using. And we think that that's going to be something that everybody in this room are going to have to think about. Like, we have a new audience that's not just the people using our websites or apps or content, but also the agents that people are using to access and interact with our products on their behalf. And I'll talk a lot more about like strategies for dealing with that and how that field of agent experiences is evolving.
Oh, this sounds amazing. So if you're interested in that, make sure to meet with Matt later on. And thank you so much, Matt, for being with me.
Thank you so much.
I'm really
excited to partner.
Thank you so much for coming all the way over from San Francisco, man.
Anytime.
Thank you. So I was talking about the insider view of content observability and how we are going to provide you a gap analysis and trying to understand how you actually utilize your content so you can see the things you don't see and actually know what's live. But I also mentioned the outside-in view, and for that I'm actually really excited because we are going to partner with Otterly.AI to provide you that outside-in view. So if you're an enterprise customer right now, you can literally jump to your customer success manager and tell them, hey, I need Otterly.AI to make sure I understand what AIs are actually going to talk about my brand right now. Because what you will be able to do is you will be able to literally monitor a huge amount of prompts directly within Otterly.AI to provide you the content feedback and analysis of what you should do next from the outside-in view. And we're partnering with Otterly.AI because we can see their growth going really stellar. And I believe it's going to be an amazing journey, not just for them, but also for us, accompanied with all of you. Because right now, I believe the things that are black boxes is content observability inside and outside. And you need to make sure that you understand how AI is actually understanding your content. And Otterly.AI have built that already, so we can focus on our core mission as well. And the best thing for me personally, actually one of the founders of Otterly.AI is Thomas Peham, which has been working with us at Storyblok for quite a while. Many of you might actually know him. So I'm really excited to understand that the vision that Thomas has is actually really aligned with how we see the world. And happy to bring that to all of you as well. So Otterly.AI is coming to Storyblok really soon as well. So I got something else for you. Are you ready for that? What we are able to do for all of you is going to bring Storyblok Flow Motion in place. Storyblok Flow Motion is our very own native AI orchestration automation layer. We were powering it with end-to-end in the background, but it's hosted and managed directly by us. And it's actually completely customized to fit the need of Storyblok. Same as with everything we do, we try to really put everything we want to work on in the center of what you need. And what we realized is you need proper workflows, you need automation for those workflows, and you need to make that happening literally tomorrow. So with end directly built into Storyblok is now called Storyblok Flow Motion. It's a complete custom version that we built for you, and we didn't even stop at just branding and white labeling it. We built native end nodes for all of you. So any functionality, any API, and anything you can do in the interface or on the API, you're able to do directly within Storyblok Flow Motion. We have custom nodes for you to manage literally any workflow you want. So all the content pieces or any manual checks that you're doing right now, you are able to use Storyblok Flow Motion to bring that in an automated way. And the best part, in between, you can put AI agents that help you summarize things, optimize things, proofread things, send notifications to Slack or to Teams or via email or anywhere else. And I'm so excited to have Storyblok Flow Motion out for you because I got to know Jan 5 years ago and I was always impressed how they built their own product. And now having that for all of you, it just gets me excited because for you, all you have to do is to go into your organization, click on Flow Motion, and you're ready to go. There's no additional setup needed. It's already there just for you. So the best part about all that is it will allow you to really automate basically anything you want. at scale. And the best part, the second best part, is actually that you're able to utilize it on every organization space going forward. We are not launching it yet for everybody because I want to see use cases, how people are building it. So until the end of this year, we'll select 25 companies that are allowed to have access literally in the next couple of days. So they can build out the use cases and try it out. How do you be one of those 25 people, you might ask? Well, you need to pitch your CSM. What are the things you want to automate? What are the things that you struggle the most with? And you can then use Storyblok Flow Motion. And, really important, for everybody that wants to build the custom small functions to then trigger Netlify functions or anything else, you can do that now with Storyblok Flow Motion as well. And even those flows that you build in Storyblok Flow Motion, you can call with an external API. So you suddenly have a full migration tool ready to use from any enterprise monoliths that you might be using today. So if you're getting started on migrations, this is going to be a tool that you can actually utilize to not have a shit in, shit out kind of situation, but where you can actually make it happening in a qualitative content. And sorry for my wording here, but we all know that the stuff and the structure you have in your old system might not be the best one you want to go forward with. And Storyblok Flow Motion is solving that for you. This is Storyblok Flow Motion.
Flow Motion is the brand new automation and integration layer inside Storyblok, allowing you to connect systems and orchestrate processes across the entire content lifecycle. Just build a new flow and watch the magic happen. Once your workflow is ready, the system can take over. Send it through approvals, sync internal systems, even push it live. And you can adapt workflows to suit your own processes and tools, connecting the AI model or agents of your choice, and set up notifications to keep stakeholders in the loop. Because Flow Motion leverages over 500 potential integrations, it doesn't just automate within Storyblok. It connects your entire ecosystem. Design tools, analytics platforms, CRM systems, e-commerce engines. Everything works together in a single flow. The result? You spend less time moving content around and more time creating content that actually matters.
For me, this is really brilliant. You have no idea how many things I'm going to automate just in my own life so I can actually start writing articles again. And you would be surprised I actually like doing that. But the real reason why I want to get as much as things for you to be able to be automated is because I don't want you to send out fridge ads anymore. I don't want you to send out emails just to be personal with the name of your customer. I want you to do actual personalization at scale. So let's stream a little bit. So if you think about a content management system right now, it's your database. It's your content, and it's structured in content types and components. And if you search through it, you most of the time get basically just search results, similar to what happens as Google, Bing, and Yahoo right now. But reality is, this is not the format an AI agent or AI itself is talking to your content, because that's not the format they're used to. And with this new platform that might be around the corner, your content would be ready for an AI agent, talking their native language. So if you now imagine or picture this ideal new, groundbreaking new layer, it could be one that reshapes how content is stored. It could be one that understands the meaning and intent of your content. One that enables you to really, truly build personalization at scale and not just based on one parameter. One that you don't need to really explain who you are as a company because it already understands everything about all of you. This isn't just a next step. This will transform our industry forever. And I'm actually super excited and super happy to tell you about our one more thing, because that's what it is. And we put it in because no good keynote will end without one more thing, right? Because if you thought Flow Motion is our end, no, it was just the start of content operations moving into content observability. But what's next is something that is not just our one more thing, but something that will enable all of you to build your one more thing. So get ready, because what's next is something that changes everything. Today, I'm incredibly happy and really proud of our team to be able to announce that we are launching Storyblok Strata. We are unleashing a whole new dimension of what a CMS can do for you. It's literally your content powered by one of the best data layers called vector data layer for all of you. So if you're using Storyblok Strata, you have access to your own content in a new, completely different, structured way. Storyblok Strata lets you understand your content like never before. Imagine this, that homepage headline that you created and drafted and had really meaningful tone that you spent hours on perfecting it. It's now actually meaning more to an AI agent than the article you wrote in 2018. Because that's what your content should do for you. By analyzing every piece of content, you're going to have a complete restructured and embedded version of your content, a new way of accessing it, a new API available to you to now have access to the full power of a vector database without you doing anything at all. Literally, you want it, we can give it to you. And you have one press of a button, which is literally sending an email to your customer success manager to get access to this, which is called Storyblok Strata, to allow you to build amazing things. That means if you're having right now a support team that wants to be enabled to handle support tickets, not just faster, but on brand with the right answer, and really understand the content in a meaningful way, where they can just put the question in that you receive, they will be able to answer that in seconds. If you want your customer success team and sales team to find relevant content case studies the minute they receive the request to send over some references, this will be possible for all of you. And combining that with Storyblok Flow Motion and the AI agents that you already have right now, you can build your own custom experiences with an AI that actually understands your actual content. So finally, you're able to build those AI applications without the overhead of setting anything like that up. So with Storyblok Strata, we bring this new groundbreaking layer to all of you. And to launch this, we're inviting only 5 customers, basically tomorrow, to try this out. Those 5 customers need to pitch us again their use case. We have this ready for you literally today, and we can set this up anytime, but we really want to have 5 flagship customers with crazy ideas that they want to build on top of that. And for you to really understand what this is doing, this is giving you a powerful new way of accessing your content, not just with keywords and meta information, but really with the intent, the meaning, the relevancy, and the context you need. And there's no timeline around, okay, we're going to ship that end of next year, or this is important. Literally, this will be available to all of you starting Q1 2026. But the first 5 customers are going to have access this year, literally tomorrow. This is Storyblok Strata.
Content can feel like chaos. We had to solve it. Introducing Strata, the new vector-powered content layer inside Storyblok. Imagine your content management system understands the context of your content, understands your content better than you do yourself. This is Strata. The pages on a website are made up of data, filled with text, images, and video, all created for a different vertical, customer profile, and user intent. What a vector database does is it captures the semantic essence of that data, and it stores it in something called the vector space. Imagine a vast library where every piece of content, articles, case studies, and documentation is meticulously indexed. Instead of needing exact keywords, our brilliant librarian Strata instantly understands meaning and intent and finds all content that is contextually related, even if the words are completely different. So when you ask a question, Strata gathers the most relevant items from your library and hands them to you to use. Does this sound like any CMS you've ever used before? Exactly. When you connect Strata to AI, the opportunities feel almost limitless. Ask your CMS about your content and get recommendations shared back to you. Develop an AI-powered chatbot that reads your documentation in seconds. Enable content personalization in a way you've only dreamed about until now. Content is the single source of truth about your brand. So how will you use it? What will you build?
I never imagined that I would be so thrilled to have my own librarian, but now it's the time. So if you really want to have access to this, please reach out to your customer success manager or anybody at the Storyblok group right here and ask them how you can get there so we can note it down so you will be on the list of people that we reach out to understand your use case for you to build your one more thing. And I hope this glimpse into Storyblok Strata was something that excites you, because literally this is something that we wanted to bring to all of you the last couple of weeks already, but I was told I need to wait for being on stage to do that. And I understand why. It's actually a really nice video, and I believe it really explains well what Storyblok is going to deliver to all of you, which is going to be the next data layer that will power your applications in a meaningful new way. And this is basically the start of a new era. It's the start of an era where content is going to be on the same level than your data that you have in your CRM, and on the same level of importance than anything else in your company. Because with that, you have validated, approved content literally at your fingertips whenever you need it. So we've covered a lot today. How AI is reshaping the buyer's journey. We talked about how content operations is basically the foundation of everything you need to do, because for you to make this work, you need to do proper groundwork, because if you have bad content there, you will get a return on that bad content. So make sure content operations and the foundations are properly done. You also understood a little bit more about how we think about content observability and how this is reducing the content depth in the long run, and how content drives personalization at scale, because with a tool and a librarian that understands your content within context and reason, it can actually generate experiences when you combine it with any customer information system out there into a really meaningful way, finding the right content for your customers to generate this personalized experience. And we introduced new capabilities, be it Flow Motion or Storyblok Strata, including not only the foundations with our Enterprise Content Planner, Digital Asset Library, and also our environment spaces. And I'm really, really excited to tell you that this has not been all, because we are still continuing to innovate. We are still continuing to build more things that are enabling you to build better, more healthier, and higher quality content for your audiences. And now, with Storyblok Strata, at the end, I'm also turning it over to the rest of the 2 days that you're going to have in front of you. You will be surrounded by amazing people doing actual content for you. And those people, including customers, partners, MVPs, and many others, have put a lot of work into all of the sessions. So please make sure to listen to them, watch them, and talk with them, because they're here to have meaningful connections and conversations. We hope we made one thing really clear. We're here to build the next chapter of content management systems with all of you and for all of you. And there's actually so much more. We heard it before from Maxi with more than 30 speakers across different floors. There's so many people that you will be able to enable them to lift them up or be lifted up. And if you need help going up the stairs, let me know. I'm happy to help. We also do have an elevator. But the most amazing thing is that we were able to bring a community here where I feel like coming home. And I hope the next 2 days will be full of joy for all of you. And I hope you will be able, actually, I'm really sure, you will be able to go out here with a smile on your face, because that's what drives us, and that's driving my company and including all my team members. So I'm really, really glad to having all of you here. Thank you so much for taking the time, and I'll see you around. Talk soon. Thank you. Welcome to JoyConf.